lovingly calling you out on your own BS and how you can help do this for yourself. Because when I'm coaching my clients, I work with women who are growing businesses online, and yes, obviously we talk strategy. We talk about the next thing that they're going to sell that's going to provide a ton of value for their clients and all of these things, right? But 90% of the time or more, I end up coaching, and same thing for myself. I coach myself through the same things. It's coaching ourselves through our own BS that's going on in our brains, right? So all of the techniques, all of the strategy, all of the marketing, like literally anything we want to know about running a business, we can learn, right? We can sign up for a course and learn. We can even go on YouTube and get most of it for free, right? So there's ways to go about learning all of these, but there's reasons that we aren't taking action on our dreams. There's reasons that we aren't, following through with the things that we are learning. And that's usually something that's going on in our own brain. There's something happening telling us that we're not worthy of it, or we're too far behind, or we're never going to learn that, right? And so we have to call ourselves out on our own crap sometimes. Here's the thing: the catalyst for change in your life, if you want to create change, the first step is deciding that you can do that. It's deciding that you want to do that. It's deciding that you will take action and figure it out no matter what happens, right? You follow me so far? Let me know if this is making sense for you guys. Uh-oh. Now I'm losing internet. The dogs are barking. It's one of those days. Let's see. Okay, that's better. So calling ourselves out on our own BS, right? And it's never that we're never not getting ahead because we can't find the answer to something. We can't find the information that we need, right? What's happening is that we maybe don't feel good enough. We don't feel like we're using our outside circumstances as an excuse, basically. So I hope this is making sense. But here's the thing. If you decide that you want to stay a victim of your circumstances, a victim of your own belief system, a victim of all of those old stories that you are carrying along with you, then you will stay in that powerless place. And when we have to make the decision to move through that and decide to make a change and create something different for ourselves, we have to decide that we are no longer going to be a victim to our circumstances, to our beliefs, to all of those old stories that we're carrying along with us. And the most amazing thing is it's your brain and you get to change how it thinks. You literally can do this, which is really exciting. So if you guys are tuning in, say hey. I saw a couple of you pop on. Let me know where you're watching from. And if you're catching the replay, just drop a hashtag replay below. But I guess I should have announced myself earlier, but or introduced myself. My name is Robin Chevry, and I am a business and clarity coach for women who are making an impact and an income online. And so like I was saying, 90% or more of the stuff that I end up coaching on is all mindset stuff. It's all figuring out why we aren't taking action on moving forward towards our dreams. And that's always almost always comes from this limiting belief. Well, I don't have any experience there. Well, I wasn't born with that gift, or, I don't feel good enough. I don't feel like I can actually provide value. Right. And here's the thing, you can if you believe that you can, right? You can find the answers to anything you need. You can figure out anything you need. But if you're constantly on that repeat of I'm not good enough, I can't do this, and that can be a subconscious thing. It's not rearing its ugly head saying that to you all the time. But if that's what's going on in your mindset, then you don't take action, right? And like, this is where we self-sabotage, we procrastinate, all this resistance comes up because of the way we are thinking. And so if we just decide that we can figure out whatever we need to figure out, whenever we need to figure it out, the answers are always there, then the scary part is saying, well, crap, the reason I'm not moving forward is me, right? The reason my life isn't changing is me. And you just haven't made that decision. And so here's the thing, like, I see a lot of, and I used to follow this, I used to be kind of part of that crowd of, you know, the really masculine, like, just push through it, no excuses, hustle, drive, you know, all of this stuff, right? And yes, that's motivating to understand that, like, you're not going to take your own excuses anymore. Like, that's certainly a part of my, we'll say, mantras for this year is like not taking my own excuses. But I think doing it in a loving way and having grace on yourself and saying, you know, where did these come from? Looking at those and healing them first before we put the work in, before we start hustling, before we start going after this stuff. And that's the piece that I just feel is so missing from this world, like this entrepreneurship world, is yes, you need to put in work. Like, yes, you will fail. Yes, you will have to learn new things and push through. And, you know, that masculine energy is huge for building your business and keeping yourself organized and like all of these things. Of course, you can outsource things and all of that too. But the feminine side of it, of being in flow and being creative and having grace on yourself and really feeling empowered to be able to create these things, is also a huge missing piece that I think we need to spend a little bit more time on. And I think that's what makes me so unique with my business, is that's what we focus on when we get started together, is really the healing and going through those limiting beliefs and things like that first, because I can tell you all day long, you know, how to show up and how to do certain things. But if you're not feeling ready and you're not ready to like feel the pain of growth, because yes, it's painful, then you won't do it. Like, you literally will not take action. So, if you're still watching, I want you to raise your hand if you have ever like bought an online course or, you know, started watching a video series and you've like fallen off. You've not taken action on it. Like, you've learned information, it got you motivated, but you haven't taken action on it. And so maybe that's, you know, maybe it's a book you've read or something like that. And I'm gonna raise my hand because I'm so guilty. I did this for years, you guys, like reading books every month and doing all these things, but like, I wasn't seeing the shift, right? And it's because I wasn't ready to feel the pain of actually looking deep within myself and saying, I have a fear that I'm not enough. I have a fear that I'm not going to be able to figure this out. I have the fear that, you know, who do I think I am showing up and doing this, right? I have this fear that I am not enough. I have this fear that I'm going to fail. And so, yes, it was great to be motivated in the moment, like take a certain action, maybe right after reading that book or whatever, but it wasn't something that I got really deep and said, you know, I am willing to move past this fear and I am willing to figure it out. And until I made that decision that I was going to change my life, nothing was changing, right? Like, even though I was growing a business and it was, you know, bringing in some income and I had success and I was building a team, I wasn't changing my life in the way that I wanted, because what I really wanted was freedom. And I was creating another job for myself that was burning me out, you know, causing all this hustle, and it just was not what I wanted. And so I ended up having to let that business go before I moved into coaching, or as I moved into it, kind of overlapped for a while. But yeah, so it's like making the decision that you're ready to feel the pain of growth. And if you're in the online world and you're in a service-based business, whether you're a coach, healer, you're in network marketing, because I truly believe that is service-based. If you are growing a team and you are helping people succeed in their businesses and their lives and, you know, all of that, then yeah, you are service-based, because you're more than just selling a product. But if you are in that space, you know, just being connected to the struggles that you're going through to build your business, because nobody is given, you know, a business that's handed to them that brings in money, that they haven't gone through some sort of struggle, whether it's figuring out how to create it or their own personal struggle or, you know, a combination of both, whatever it is. Like, we all have to go through that in order to become the person that has the business and the life that we dream of. Does this make sense, right? Like, that is what my teachings are all about, is embodying that woman. And embodying, well, yeah, I guess I only work with women. So embodying that woman who has this life, right? So if we get caught up thinking like, I'm dissatisfied, so I'm going to go build a business and see if I can create something different. We don't have a clear vision of what we want. We don't know how that person shows up. And so we just kind of follow what's happening and what other people are saying to do. But we haven't turned on our ability to listen to ourselves, to guide ourselves, to coach ourselves. And you guys, like, having a coach for me has been just, it's like a non-negotiable, like having somebody else to lift me up to that next level. Because if I knew how to get there, I'd already be there, right? And we have coaches for different levels and have mentors for different levels, but we also have to coach ourselves. We got to work through our own stuff and make ourselves accountable for our own results. Like, period. It's not up to anybody else. Even if you have a coach and a mentor, like, obviously, yes, they're there to help you. But if you're looking to other people, if you're looking to other outside circumstances, if you are looking to anything outside of yourself and saying, I don't have the results that I want because of this, then I'm sorry, but like, you're doing it wrong. It's you. It's always you. And I know that might sound harsh, but I have to remind myself of that all the time as well. It always comes down to you. And when you start to ask your brain better questions, instead of sitting in that victimhood, and you ask your brain better questions on, you know, how can I make this work? How can I figure it out? How can I learn this new skill that I don't have? Right? And that's something for me that was like, it's a really difficult thing. You know, I was really, really good in school, but I did 1 year of university and I hated it. I never really learned how to learn and actually absorb the information. And so there were so many things I felt like trying to learn a new skill was really uncomfortable for me. And so having to teach myself that that's just going to be part of my journey and it doesn't have to be bad or uncomfortable. It's just part of it. Then, you know, we become more accepting and we just understand that is that next level woman that I am going to be embodying, right? It's like the woman who understands and isn't afraid to learn something new and do something new and get totally out of her comfort zone to create not only the business, but the life that she wants. Right? And so if that's what you're wanting, like, you have to lovingly call yourself out on your own stuff. And one thing that I do when I am like in it, right? When I'm in the chaos, when I'm in my head, when it just feels like everything outside of me is going the opposite way of what I want it to, I will ask myself, why am I choosing to sit in this, right? And so if we're, you know, we launched something new and it completely failed, or, you know, maybe we got into a fight with our significant other, or something's going on with the kids, or whatever it is, right? Like, it's personal stuff too. It's not just a business failure. Asking ourselves, like, why am I choosing to sit in this, right? We get like frustrated and mad and upset and all these things. And we're like, I can't succeed because of this person. I can't succeed because of this outside circumstance. I can't succeed because of this belief that I have about myself. So asking ourselves, why are we choosing to sit in that? Why am I choosing to sit in this? Why am I choosing to believe this? Because there is some level of comfort, there is some level of safety sitting in the victimhood of that circumstance or belief for you. There is some safety, there's some comfort in that because it's a learned pattern, it's something you've always done. It maybe means that if you sit in a little longer, you get to stay comfortable and not have to take that next step. So it's a huge part of resistance when we're starting to hit that next level. Our brain and our ego goes like, no, you need to come way back down a level, right? And that's not what we want. So when we're going through the crap, like that is when we're about to come into our next level. And that's like literally a sign of it. So when we start looking forward to being in it, that's when you know that you have, thoroughly arrived because we're always going to be in it when we're up leveling. And for the women that I know and that I work with, we are always like looking for that next level, and we're always looking to grow and learn and continue to succeed in different ways. And so there's always going to be those growing pains, like we never arrive, right? And so just asking ourselves, like, why am I choosing to sit in this? Because we can shift our energy, we can shift our mindset, usually within a few minutes, once you get some practice doing it. Why am I choosing to sit in it? Why is this, the way that I stay safe for myself? And just sitting with that for a minute and really looking at it and saying, like, is this what I want to continue to choose? Because it's always a choice. Your mindset is always a choice. The way you're showing up every day is always a choice. Letting yourself sit in your failures is always a choice. So if you want to move through it, you have to call yourself out on your own stuff, and you have to start asking your brain better questions. How can I figure this out? How can I make this work? Who can I go to help me? Right? It's not always about figuring it out on your own. It's about asking for help too, but learning as you go. So I just felt like that was really important because I've had to do this a lot for myself in the last few days, and working with a couple of my clients through the same kind of stuff. So I just felt like it was a really strong message on my heart to share with you guys that it is just all part of the process and you get to do it lovingly with grace on yourself. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you because we all go through this stuff, no matter what level we are at. It doesn't like you hit a certain number or you quit your job in your business or you do all these things that all of this stuff goes away. Like if anything, as you continue to level up, your problems get bigger and you learn how to solve them quicker and all of this. So it happens at every level. It happens to the best of us. We all go through our own stuff, but we have to be able to call ourselves out on it. And obviously, like having a mentor, having a coach who can help you through that. And it not only is just so much easier to do this kind of stuff with support, but we're talking about like completely accelerating your results. So instead of spending years, like months or years sitting in your own stuff, not believing that you can do it, right? You can start believing and doing the stuff that you really want to so much quicker if you have a coach there who's right behind you, holding you accountable, showing you the way, and calling you out on your own BS. So that is my loving message for you today. Calling you out on your own stuff. If this is resonating with you, I have opened up some spots in my calendar to speak with women who are ready for that next level in their business, next level in their life, who are looking to up level in every area, who are done not believing in themselves, who are done sitting on the sidelines, knowing that they are made for more and just not able to get through that next step. I got you, sister. Let me know. I will, you can just drop me a DM or a comment below and I will be in touch with you to book a call. So if you have any questions, feedback, comments, anything, I would love to hear from you. Otherwise, I will chat with you guys soon.